Let's get ready to rumble. Bum, 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 bum. Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you all. We are in the middle of another week, and we are here about to do another live stream for Tales of Valhalla, the Aftermath Chronicles. And I use most of this music for the trailer for Season 2, like the full trailer for Season 2. You want to see that? Go on YouTube and type in the search bar Tales of Valhalla. You should be able to find us. It's a stop-motion, animated adventure based off the board game Virtualscape. And so that is that, and so I'm just going to throw that plug in, and we get started. Good evening to everyone watching. How is everyone doing tonight? Let me know. I can tell you that this is the third Wednesday in a row that I'm still not great. I have no idea what's going on with me. I might have to see doctors eventually. But I'm here. And just FYI, I might not be here next Wednesday, and I think that will be... Let me double check. Yeah, next Wednesday is July 3rd, since it is 4th of July weekend. I'm thinking just, I lost my train of thought for a second. No, I'm thinking just take a break, especially if I'm feeling like I'm feeling right now. I just need a break. Need to see a doctor. What's going on? It's like 3 Wednesdays ago. It was like a headache and fever. Last week, I think it was like inflammation, Crohn's issue, maybe, or just basically still left over from that fever before. And now this week, I just have some really tough inflammation on my left side, and you can tell it's just. It's an interesting amount of inflammation, and I mean, it's not hurting horribly, but it is very uncomfortable, so gotta take a look at that. And so more than likely I will not be around next Wednesday. And you can see we're not editing with the film tonight because most of the special effects for episode 1 of season 2 are done. I'm just basically putting together all the audio stuff, which is... It's going to take time. It might take another month. So when I was thinking that I was going to be releasing this thing, well, since I've been sick the past few weeks, that's really slowed things down. And even calculating now, working as hard as I can, it probably won't be until end of July till season 2, or episode 1 of season 2 gets released. But trust me, it'll be worth it. It will be almost 20 minutes of pure Virtualscape miniature wargaming goodness. I'm still going to do some type of live stream, a premiere event for that for sure. Still planning on that. So that we're going to do. So yeah, we're going to switch things up a little bit tonight. And here I'm going to move this over a little bit. Get this in the view screen. And we used to do these a while ago. We used to do these, and you can see other episodes of live streaming me working on this particular software. Hold on a second. It's a software called Virtualscape. You basically virtually can build Virtualscape terrains and stuff virtually, and it's a good little tool to help me give a visualization of what I want when it comes to particular scenes within TOV, where they're going, whether that's scenes jungle, lava terrain, forest terrain, ruin terrain, castle terrain, whatever, ice terrain, so this is what I was doing last year. Kind of stopped doing it for a while because there were other important things to do, like animating and editing. But I'm gonna start doing it again tonight. I mean, we are almost done with all the Virtualscape builds for seasons 2 and 3. I'm getting on the end of season 3. So just gonna review what I've done recently, or what's been done, and then we're gonna move on to starting to build something new, and kind of describing the scenes and what's gonna happen in season 3. A tiny bit, not gonna give everything away. Yeah, but like I said, it's just the health. Health is very, very important, and right now it's just like it's not fun to feel like you just don't want to get up in the morning. So definitely need a doctor to check me out sometime, and if it doesn't get better by itself, more than likely these things usually don't get better by themselves, so probably not going to happen. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So we're going to be working on some Virtualscape stuff. I'm going to show you some completed stuff right now. And hopefully all of you can hear me just fine. Did an audio check, so hopefully my voice is coming in and you're just not seeing my lips move and nothing talking. But good evening, and we'll do this for a little while and see where we go. So let's get started with this. Okay. So here we go. Here is some terrain. Let's scale up. So this is the first layer of Virtualscape terrain, and this is for the first scene in episode 8, season 3. This is the location, kind of a small scene. You can see it's kind of mountainous terrain with some forests, kind of like a corner shot. And hold on, like, trying to do this on my phone. Make sure, okay. I'm pretty sure I'm connected good in the streaming. It's like watching my live stream on my phone. It's like Twitch really needs to figure that out a lot better. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's the chat. Alright, there. No, don't have to worry about watching it. And yeah, I see some of you on board watching. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so for this scene, we have characters doing things that are very pivotal to the plot. I know, I'm not going to say much. No, I mean, we have this part in the story in season 3. Let's just say you have the heroes going through some struggles. They gain some things, but they also lose a lot. And now they have to make an alliance with someone they don't want to make an alliance with, but they must, because otherwise there are other friends that could quite possibly get killed, or all their wound tokens will run out. So in this scene, this is basically, and this is going to be a night scene actually in this. And here, let me try and bring this up here. Circle this around. So yeah, just a forest. And the really cool thing is, I need to post this on Instagram sometime. I have they're not obviously Virtualscape terrain, but via oh, come on, what's the company's name? High Ground. Via High Ground Tiles. It's a terrain building company where they do 3D printed terrains. I was able to visit their workshop earlier this year, and they were nice enough to send me some terrains that they printed from their shop, and one of the things they sent were some campfires, some 3D printed campfires with flames. So definitely in this scene we'll probably use that as a practical element, then add like some type of fire effect to it, to that. So really appreciate those guys sending that. Definitely, you know, can make use of it, but I'm gonna probably set it down there wherever our heroes are going to be by a campfire, and they're just hunkered down for the night in this foresty area. So yeah, this is the scene. It looks pretty much done. The thing with building these terrain sets, for me at least, I'm not building them to play an actual miniature wargaming scene. I mean, I could someday. It would be fun to like build all these terrains, spend all the time building all these terrains one at a time, and just go through every scene with characters and just have like hero escape battles with them. In my old age, maybe. But primarily for me, it's just to get an idea of what I want the set to be. It might not be exactly like this, but it'll be as close as it can possibly be. It just depends on what the camera angle is going to be and what the camera actually sees when we're, you know, looking through the viewfinder. I might change, you know, some levels here, or alter a pine tree, you know, somewhere else. It depends. It just depends on the when it comes time to shoot and animate. You know, what I need. So anyway, okay, so that is that scene. We can save that and just switch it off because that's complete. Now let's go to the next scene. Now, this is a scene where our heroes transition from well, there. I'm just gonna close this a second. You see the map here? Like our heroes are going to be like in a location right here in northern part of Lar, I believe it's called. And they're basically going to be making their way to the Thailand tundra. And so we're going to have a scene to where they transition from forest and grassy woodlands to just ice pack, snow cold terrain. It's going to be a sudden transition for the satire and comedy element. Just because that's what we do here for TOV. We make this, you know, kind of serious role-playing battle game, but, you know, just make it kind of silly. Anyway, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so you see the ice here. And this might change too, depending on where, like, I'm probably going to have my camera, like, on this end. So I might actually build up terrain or have terrain like in the background here to make it look like there's terrain that stretches further back. So this is an exception, not the rule, when it comes to building these terrain scenes. And like you said, like I said, I got ice partitions here. Like I said, that might change because I don't know if I want it to be completely icy. It might, but it actually might end up just being in the background. I'll have to see when it comes time to build these terrains, but let's take a look at... Just take a look at this. You can see now, and I haven't added any forest. I decided not to add trees to this, although when I build it, I'll just my preference of where I want trees here, and like I said, it's just going to be a sudden transition to where one of the characters is going to be like, wait a second, what? We're in grassland and forest. There's no snow, and all of a sudden, boom, there they are. And it's like, oh, okay. You know, they're literally in a game type world, so it's just a small hint for that. So that is that one. Like I said, those two scenes, kind of small scenes. Give me a moment. Again. Okay. So we will save this. And just want to see what's our time. That can't be right. Okay, 18 minutes, alright. 18 minutes into this, I'm going to try to go for an hour. We'll see. Depending on how I feel, like I said. I mean, already I'm feeling pressure from my side, so, I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's my intestine or, like, appendix or something, I don't know. But it's definitely getting worrisome enough to probably check out sometime soon. Anyway, okay, enough of my illness things, that's not what we're here to talk about. Alright, So I'm going to close this, and let's move on to this. Now, I was building this one last, I think the last Virtualscape build episode that I was doing, and I was just getting started with it, but this is in the middle of the Thalake Tundra, and this is basically a temple from another planet, from another dimension of a character's, and one of the Valkyrie generals, with the power of the Wellsprings, back when the Wellsprings were able to be used, was transporting this temple from its original location to Valhalla. And then another general interrupted that transfer, and this temple ended up crashing into the Thalake Tundra, and supposedly rendered to be unusable just because it was basically turned into a lot of ruins and dust. But it could actually be used. So, so let's take a look at this. Now, this is a very basic look at it. Now, if I was building this for purposes of playing an actual HeroScape game, I of course would surround everything, build the whole terrain with castle, yada yada yada. But since this is just for animating, I don't think anything here because this is where I'm going to put the camera. And so it's basically temple walls, and you see like this little piece of wall spire here, and then you got like four hex spaces that are going to have some significant purpose in Season 3. And like I said before, more than likely I will have terrain like beyond this to show that there's a vaster, more vast expanse of the tundra, of this ice-cold wasteland than what can just be seen right here. But like I said, when it comes to building, build time we'll see, and it also depends on how much snow tiles I have as well. I'm going to try to get, like I said, I have tons of snow tiles, but they run out pretty quickly. when it comes to spaces, I've noticed that you know, after you use a bunch, and it's like, oh, I don't have as much as I thought. But I'm thinking of like through high ground printing, getting more snow terrain through high ground printed, and maybe have that in the background or even part of the scene close up. It just depends. So with the advent of using high ground, a lot of these sets that I've built could be altered in the fact that I might want to use high ground's terrain just to accent some of these places, which is great because it gives these scenes a more unique look, a more Valhalla type look. So that is what we have here. This is the temple. Now there's a particular part in this is episode 8. And we transition into episode 9 still in this area. And there comes a point to where we have the heroes start running away from some climactic monster event that's going to happen. And then they will run into a different area of the temple that's just more ruinous. There's not as much important stuff, but there's still going to be like walls, places to climb up on, and lots of snow, of course, and ice and stuff. So, and that is the set we're going to build right now. I haven't started that at all. So that's what we're going to get started doing and do for like maybe the next half hour or so, and see how far we can get. And since I can take my time with this, because it's going to be a while, I'm sure I won't be animating these particular scenes. My guess is the soonest I'll do it is probably, the soonest I'll start is probably the middle of next year, which is basically a year away. So in another year, won't be animating these things because it takes a long time to do. And got a comment. I Hunt Monsters says, going to be interesting to see how the high ground stuff looks. I've yet to see much of it in action, but it looks super cool. I Hunt Monsters, yes. When High Ground did their Kickstarter last year, I invested, even though I don't have a 3D printer, I invested almost everything that I could afford to get the STL files from those guys, so I just have them ready. And I'm guessing sometime within the next 12 months, I am going to be getting some type of 3D printer so I can start 3D printing stuff myself. But yeah, I mean, of course, I had already most of Season 2 already animated before I was able to have any high ground terrains at all. But in Season 2, like especially closer to the end, there are like lava tiles and desert tiles and some other things that I use to accent the scenes for the last episode or two for Season 2. And in Season 3, there's going to be a lot more. And they, the Canon T3i that I have loves the look. And they match really well with the Heroescape tiles. And that's not just for animating, it's also for gameplay. There are certain 3D printed terrains that you can get that can actually link with the Heroescape terrain you have, so that way it's easier to connect them. I think they're called Heroescape connectors or something. And actually, right now I've noticed on the High Ground website, they're actually starting to sell physical sets instead of just STL files, or they're planning on it. I know they're selling some physical things. I'm not exactly sure if it's terrain, but yeah, definitely look them up. Very nice people. Very nice people. They were very gracious, and I actually did an interview with them. Hopefully I'll get that edited sometime this year to show what it looks like in their workshop and our little chat. But yeah, wonderful people, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to work with them even more. So anyway, that is that when it comes to High Ground, and good to see you, I Hunt Monsters. Wonderful. Well, you were here, now you're gone. I see. Let's see about viewers now. Hopefully everything's running okay on this thing. As far as the clock time, it is. Anyway, if you didn't hear that response, then just watch this episode when I upload it on YouTube. But it's good to hear from you. Alright, so let's get started with this. Sometimes I think my Twitch viewer account lies to me, because sometimes it says 0, sometimes it says 2, sometimes it says other things. I'm like, I don't think they know what they're talking about when people comes on viewing, and I shouldn't pay attention to it a lot. I should just keep on doing what I need to do. Okay, anyway. So, let's move on. So let's go to this. Okay. So like I said, different temple area. That's what this says. And I'm going to get started right now. Zoom out. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully you heard my response, I Hunt Monsters. Because I went in a long tangent and all of a sudden I noticed, there's 0 viewers. What happened? Because I know sometimes there's connection issues. It happens, but if you didn't hear that, like I said, I'll be posting this the next day or two on YouTube. You can watch it there. So, okay, let's get started with this episode. This is episode 9. We're kind of getting to the climax of the whole, basically the whole 3 seasons so far of TOV. Episode 9, episode 10 basically become the climax of all 3 seasons, kind of making it its own story arc to where once season 3 is finished, a lot of plot points will be complete. So if I never touch Tales of Valhalla again, at least people will have a sense of a completeness when it comes to the storyline. Although I'll leave a couple of things open because there are ideas that I have for the future if I ever am able to do that. So anyway, alright, so let's get started with this. Okay, so like I said, my brain is like half fried. So we're going to try this, but okay, I got a lot of grass terrain, so using grass terrain as a base, but not, and I'm trying to envision this scene, because in this scene, there's, they fight a big monster, they also fight an army of other monsters, and I'm thinking, let's see here, I'm not going to imagine the length of the table that I'm going to have this on. It's always about the size of things. Although sometimes when I start building these things for scenes, I'm just like, what was I thinking when I started building this digitally? But, you know, like I said, this is just an exception. This is just a guide to when I start building these things physically. It still takes a long time to build these things, even with this, but it would take 100 times longer if I did not have this as a guide. So eventually this will be ice terrain, and my idea is, like, I want some type of open entrance here for people to come through. Some hills here maybe, showing maybe like wooded, maybe a little bit of snow and grass and woods, and maybe just a little bit of a ruin somewhere. And then on this side, still want the ruins and ice to be kind of prevalent, although still openings into different areas, because eventually we'll have characters moving from this scene, this area, into different places. So, and the entryway for the first part of the scene is the heroes will come through this way. So, let me see. Get this. Nope. Not good. So yeah, just gonna add these. I'll probably fix this later. Anybody coming on board and watching this, welcome. This is a live stream for the production of Tales of Valhalla, The Aftermath Chronicles. You can find us on YouTube via, just type on the search bar Tales of Valhalla, and you'll find first season there, which is basically stop motion animation via Virtualscape terrain and characters and such, and we are currently working on seasons 2 and 3. Going to be releasing the first episode of season 2 hopefully within the next month. Currently editing with that. The last few weeks we were on editing software called HitFilm and doing some special effects. I got all the special effects done. Now it's just a lot of audio. Don't really want to show that to you guys, so we're just back to building terrain sets for scenes for Tales of Valhalla. Anyway, welcome. Any questions or comments? Feel free to comment and I will read and talk. It's always fun to talk when working on these things. Okay, so anyway, so building the scene, and we're actually building an ice terrain scene. Now, let's just get to the snow and ice. Okay. That's the one big problem with Snow Train. They just come in doubles and singles. That's it. Not fun. But let's just blanket those with snow. At least most of it. This is the boring part. Now, the trick is when building these things is to make it as simple as possible. You don't want to overdo anything. And then this temple, I might have something in the center too. We'll see. I don't think I'll work on that now. And actually, what I'm going to do... Hold on. No, I can do it. It's okay. Whatever, I can fix stuff later. Monster says, high octane snow placement stream. Yeah, it's about as exciting as watching paint dry, I'm not gonna lie. At least earlier it was kind of exciting to where I was showing you what was completed. And I'm sure there's a faster way to put these on. Actually, I think there is. But I don't remember the shortcut at the moment. So yeah, just enjoy the music. And we'll get there. And more than likely, I'm doing this all wrong. And I'll probably be like next week, or when I look at it again, I'll be like, ah, this is awful. I want to just change it all. Because that happens. It happens all the time. Okay. So, what now? Dang. It just shows how horrible I feel. Okay, so we need a base. Just base straight. No, base straight. Where's my base straight? There. No. Okay, so... Oh, right, I got him. Ryan. You're silly. Told you I was doing it wrong. There. Okay. Make a break over there. Oh yeah, I need to look at this closer. Yeah. And, some of this stuff is just gonna be scattered everywhere. Okay, need a wall corner. Other wall corner. Oh, but not that. I need the base of the wall corner. Duh. Now, what? Did it again? I did it again. Now, what I'm thinking is I'll probably, when I feel better, I will probably go through this and remove the snow tiles where these are, and then bring these down a level. So that way it's they're kind of in the snow. I kind of like that look, them being in the snow. I don't need this as, I don't need that to be. I can add a bunch. Then, oh yeah, I need something on top here. So what I really need is a door, though. So. And I might have to make this bigger. We'll see. But just say, can I add a door here? Or something. Well, actually, no. I don't think I'll add a door. I think what I'll do is I'll add just something on the top there. Anyway, alright. And when all else fails anyway, I just do a lot of close-ups, so that way it's hard to tell where everything is. Alright, and now here, I just plan to build some mountainous stuff, so... let's go back here. Like I said, I really need to remove all that, so actually let me just go down a little. Oops. There, I think that'll work. Just add some rock tile. And of course, we're not going to get all of this done tonight. This might take a little bit of time, so there'll be other live streams of us doing this boring watching paint dry building until we see what we end up with, the final result. Alright, so that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to build this up more. And what I might do is, let's see what I'm going to add. I think that'll work. Let's let me get some snow here. And snow on top of snow. I mean, actually, and this is just an indicator that I probably want to add ice or something back here, but the positions of these may change sometime. Just to make it look nice right now. just a little bit more right here too. Now for snow, because I got quite a few snow tiles, and these ice ones I think I got like well, excuse me a minute. Burp again. Okay. Excuse me. I have, as far as these type of ice, these glacier terrains, I have 2 sets of them. So I am limited to like 2 of these. I've got, I don't remember how many of these are. I think there's 4. These are like 6, and these are like, what, a dozen or so. Whatever, how much they were, however much in the set, I got double that. So very fortunate. So yeah, these terrains I'm just adding them, but so when it comes to build day, when I eventually build this, I'll probably change this around a bit. But I'm just gonna add it right now, just for laughs and giggles. All right, now gonna add more snow terrain here. As well. And this whole center is basically going to be a showdown. And already, I mean, it might not be small when I build it, but it kind of looks small to me. See here, if I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we'll see. We'll see what it is when I build it, but like I said, that's why it's an exception, not the rule. Alright. And again, probably in the background here and there we'll have some type of snow or ice or something indicating there is a bigger world outside the area that you can see. But this area right here, I'm going to try and build up kind of snow peak mountains. So, moving up. I'm going to have to add these walls first, so let's do that. So, wall straight. Time flies when you're having fun. It's already 46 minutes into this live stream. Cool. It's not going to go in an hour, so still have about 10, 15 minutes to go. Let's see how much we can do before the clock runs out. Love the music I'm listening to. It's very motivating. Okay, wall corner. And part of me is like, you can actually see, like, nope, to my, yeah, right here, where my finger's pointed behind me, all the way back. You see that stack of crates there? That is all Virtualscape stuff. And yet, I see collections from people via like Virtualscapers and certain Virtualscape chat groups that just blow my mind. Like, how are you able to contain all that stuff? I don't know. Okay, did I do that okay? I need my glasses. Yeah, I think that's fine. So this area is going to be a bit more ruinous than the other area. Let's just hit save, and let's just take a look and see what we got so far via here. 3D scene, yeah. Might be a little bit smaller than what I want. But so far, I think it looks kind of good. Yeah. Yeah, I particularly think that these terrains should be spaced out more, but we'll see. We'll see. I might end up building it and just be like, oh, I like it. But again, I am limited by how much terrain I have, and my terrain is not an unlimited amount. Alright, so let's start building more of this mountain area. Oh, got a burp again. Hold on. I guess it's like it doesn't happen any time that I'm on live stream that I burp, and I don't want to have my audio on going like bleh when I'm burping. Just do not want that. Okay. Let me get this. Alright, I think I'm gonna add, I'm not gonna add snow there. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I won't. I won't. Just need one. I'm just gonna add some of these on. Add one there. Okay. I feel like I should be building snow here too, but if I wanted to do that, I should have started here. Just do some of that. Like I said, this is all just playing around with this. Definitely need to be altered and tweaked. Alright, moving up. Alright, moving on up. Just gonna concentrate on this right now. Well, we have a few minutes left. I said it'd just be like any other famous director, and after something's done, be like, I don't like it. I want it changed. I want it changed right now. That's how I feel in my heart of hearts. No, kidding. It's just a partial thing. Alright. And it's also just because I feel so darn swollen and bloated right now. It's not funny. Okay. And my voice is very low. I should probably speak clearer. I'm just like whispering, like, okay, what is he saying? I don't know. Alright, now before I finish this though, I am going to go up a little bit more. That's definitely going to be higher, this mountain aside. I'll find a way to make them higher. But what I want to do is add some of this castle stuff here. Like this. And then this. Or maybe this. That can be connected to that. Let's just connect these, and then I want this to be its own platform, because I might have other heroes up there sometime. Same here. And this just can be as is. That's something I might have to remove every once in a while when it comes to animating. Get in the camera to get specific shots. Oh my goodness, yeah, I can tell I've been sitting for an hour. Alright, let's see what this looks like so far. Yeah, definitely need to find a way to make this higher. Probably have to expand it, like I said. And it's definitely a miniaturized version of what I wanted. I want it to be like a couple of spaces bigger. So I'll probably have to redo that too. But, I mean, overall, not a bad start. I'm getting started with doing this Thaling Tundra terrain for one of the climactic scenes for Tales of Valhalla, the Aftermath Chronicles, in the end of Season 3. And I guess I'll just end it there. So I Hunt Monsters. Good talking to you. Hope all is well with you. And like I said earlier in the show, I'll probably be taking a hiatus next Wednesday, since it is kind of a holiday week, and I might not feel as good as it. I mean, I still might not be feeling good. And try and take that taken care of. But hopefully, the week after next, which will be July. Why isn't it showing it to me? July 10th. We'll be back, and hopefully we'll have things to show. Hopefully, quite possibly, be able to do the premiere of Episode 1, Season 2 live on Twitch. I mean, it's possible. It's not likely. But that's probably the soonest we'll be able to do it and just show that first episode of Season 2 and do commentary and thoughts. Might show it twice, actually. Maybe once with commentary and once without. So, yeah, well, thanks, I Hunt Monsters. Yeah, well, whatever it's going to be on a Wednesday. That's what I'm trying to consistently do. So, we'll see you then. And, yeah, to everyone else watching, thank you so much if you're on YouTube watching this, retroactively. Great. And I will see you guys next time we do a live stream. Later. And I bumped the microphone. I hate it when I do that. Bump the microphone. My gosh. Anyway, good night. Have a great week. Have a great holiday weekend, or have a great holiday week next week as well if you're in the US of A. If not, just have a great weekend. And I will see you guys next time. Later.